Hi there, my name is Jerrell, also known as Dreadlockyogi on Instagram and on YouTube. And welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, for viewing. I'm so excited to share this review with you and to share the beginning of my Oracle card reading journey. Currently, I'm a yoga instructor here in Chicago. I also am a Reiki healer. I work with crystal energy work, and I recently stumbled upon oracle cards, and I was did a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, and it was literally love at first sight. Especially when I got my decks, and I took good time in choosing which decks would be my first decks. So to have the anticipation and to work with them, I love it. I love it so much. I'm really trying to take it easy. I have two more decks on the way that I'm excited about. And I know they say the average Oracle card reader or collector has about 30 decks. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm trying to take it easy. But nevertheless, I wanted to share the start of this journey with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And yes, so let's get into why I love Oracle card decks so much. One is because it's just filled with high vibrations and positive energy, and who can get enough of that, right? I think it's important to have some type of ritual that just reminds us on a daily basis that we are supported, protected, and to encourage us to trust our intuition and make that leap of faith and go with our hearts and follow that. And it's so good to just have those daily like pump ups that you can go to. I also really like the tool and that it uses to connect with your spiritual guides, your ancestors, the universe, God, whomever you connect with. Just having this tool that I can receive messages from them through. I kind of think of it as like a board game, and I'm inviting and calling upon my ancestors to play with me and to speak to me. I think that our spirit guides are always looking for opportunities to get our attention and to speak to us and to guide us and lead us along this path. And when you have card decks or whatever your modality is, just having something that you can physically see and touch and just connect with in all these cellular levels. I just love it. So yeah. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the review. So the first deck that I am going to share with you is the Goddess Guidance Oracle card deck. It was created by Doreen Virtue and um, quite a few other artists. I believe, maybe I can look in the guidebook, but I believe it's about five or six other artists. I'm not really sure, so apologies if I got that wrong. But published by Hay House, so it has this really nice, sturdy cover, so it's good to kind of, keep packaged. I like to keep my decks wrapped in a silk scarf that I have, but I know as my collection grows, I only have so many scarves. So we'll see how that works out. So it's good to have a nice sturdy deck. Let's get into, well, before I get into opening the box, I do want to share a little bit about my experience of choosing this deck. At first, I will say I was a little like, because I was seeing some feedback out there saying that there was a lack of representation with Black women in this Oracle deck. And I sat with that because just being a Black yoga instructor here in Chicago and the misrepresentation that, shows up in that community, I'm always looking for spaces that celebrate Black women. I think it's very important. And so I was a little bummed about that, but after reading it, it is like it is a group of people out there that are, starting to just be the change that they want to see and create these decks. And so whenever I am put in front of, I like to let me pull back my words. In approaching something new. And if there's something in this that I can gain from it, if there's something that is positive that can benefit me on my spiritual journey, I like to ask myself, well, let's focus on that. And then again, be the change that you want to see or support the change that you want to see. Again, there are a lot of artists and people working to, show more cultural representation in these decks. We deserve it. It's nice to look at, and um, just focusing my energy towards that instead of being like, okay, well, that's not for me. Just asking myself, is there something from this that I can get? And absolutely, there's a lot of good information in here about goddesses, and that was important to me in choosing a deck. Can I learn something from it um, that I may not, know about? So definitely brushing up on my goddess, history and knowledge. That's a big, big plus. So I decided to focus on the positive aspects of this deck, and I'm so glad I did because working with it has been amazing. So let's get into the deck, starting out with the guidebook. So also just being a new oracle card reader, I know that a lot of people advise to use the guidebook for inspiration, but to not fully, depend on it and just always kind of go to it and be like, okay, what does the guidebook say? Definitely familiarize yourself with it. It's an excellent tool. I know the writer and the creator took a lot of time in preparing it, so I definitely appreciate that. But also, just kind of exercising the muscle of my intuition. So let's get into it. All right, let's see what we got. I'll just read this. Dedicated to the spirit, power, and beauty of the goddess, which exists within every woman, man, and child. May the goddess reawaken and bring feminine balancing energy to the world. May our feminine strengths of intuition and nurturing fully reemerge. I like that. And I will say, facts. My husband, I did a reading for him, and he enjoyed it. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's for men, but you can definitely, if the opportunity presents itself, and you can definitely use this with men. It, you know, um, Everyone possesses both masculine and feminine energy, so maybe this can be something, because I know a lot of men don't really connect with their feminine energy a lot. So it could be something that is new. And, when you do new things, great things come. So there's that. And then there's a table of contents, which I appreciate. It's in alphabetical order, and she lists all the goddesses that are in the book. So you can just kind of quickly go to it. And I won't get too much into it, but she does give advice on how to give an oracle card reading, how to store your cards. I don't see any spreads in here, but that's okay. Spreads are whatever you are feeling. Yeah, I don't think so. But it's a good amount of information on each goddess. She has the picture. I just opened it up to Bridget, and her a saying that's also on the card, which will show. But it says, "Don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right." And then there's a message from Bridget, which is pretty cool, and just her inspiration on what Bridget would say to you with this card. And then she has various little tidbit meanings like be assertive, don't worry about what other people think, trust your actions. And then after that, she gives you the proper pronunciation, which I really appreciate because I am the queen of butchering names. I won't say that. Let me not take that crown. But it's just always good to make sure that you're pronouncing the goddess's name correctly. So that is, I really appreciate that. And then just a little bit of history. And then you are prompted to, go further and do a little bit more history and see what connects to you about this goddess. What are their attributes that really pop out to you and stick with you and that you can use in your reading? So this is a great start out. So each goddess has about a page, 2 pages, and then in the back, she just credits the artist. Now, I'll get into that really quickly. Again, there wasn't any representation, but we moved past that. What also was kind of like, a little low vibe for me, um, was being misrepresented. There are, and I know a few people spoke on this as well online about this deck, was that some of the Egyptian, well, no, not some, all of the Egyptian goddesses were kind of portrayed in a white person's image as opposed to a more person of color, Egyptian, African. So, nevertheless, still enjoyed it. It was, clearly it's an artist choice, which they have every right. So I won't get caught up in that. But it definitely was kind of like, let's do better, guys. That's all. All right, let's get into the deck. So here is the back of the deck. Let's see the camera. There is a little glossy glare, but still pretty smooth, easy to shuffle. And then there's a gold guild. I'm sorry, just getting used to these videos. So that's really nice. It's really pretty. It's really pretty and fits in your hand, easy to shuffle. So, that's card popped up already. What do we get? Conventina. And this is purification. It is time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. And here is the card. Try not to get that glare. And the artwork is beautiful. There's a little nudity, which I don't mind. I think it's beautiful. The woman's body is absolutely gorgeous. So I kind of like that a little bit. And deep waves in the back, and it's just flooding. It's just, cleansing. I just get a good hot, steam feeling, letting go, just being waterfall showered with this. And then I love the rainbow kind of skirt that she has coming down. Sorry. And then she has some waist beads, and I just love this. And then let's go to see what it says, so you can just get a good idea also about Coventina. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing the name right. Let me check that. Yeah, Coventina. Okay, so the message from her is that your vessel has become clogged by overuse of harsh chemicals, and the offending source is within your psyche. You've been ignoring your body's many signals and screams for relief from the steady ingestion of impurities. Perhaps you've also noticed a slump in your energy level, and your degree of joy has lagged as well. Never mind these past effects, though, as the solution is at hand right now. Now that you've heard this message, do not hesitate for even a moment to make new arrangements. And it goes on. But so really, really powerful message to start getting inspired by. Love, love, love. Let's go through a little bit more of these cards. This is Mary Magdalene. Unconditional love. Let me see. What are some of my favorites? Sorry, I had to change positions here, get a little bit more comfortable. I like being on the ground. I feel rooted, feel grounded. I like this one, butterfly mating, representing transformation. And it says, you are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. I love that. Because change is so scary. So it's really good to be reminded that it's all a part of the process. It's just a stage. Things change. It may be uncomfortable, but something new and beautiful and easier is on the horizon. I love that. And then there's one more I want to show you before we get into the next deck. Oh yeah, Kali. Endings and blessings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. Exactly what, I don't know what's going on with me with these cards, but exactly, endings and beginnings. I love that. Everything is a rebirth. There is no death, just cycle that keeps on going. Love that. So yeah, I like Aracura blossoms. That's nice. Blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. Yeah. So really nice. Oh, Hathor. Now this image I really, really like, and it is of an Egyptian goddess. Hathor, and this representation. So this artist did due diligence. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Receptivity, which is so hard as a mother. Um, Knowing, just always being giving, always taking care of people, and giving of yourself, and it's kind of hard to receive and allow people to do things for you. It's kind of a control issue a little bit sometimes. I don't know. Anybody feel me out there? But yeah, and she has like sometimes I believe either is it a cow or a lion. So let me. It was some attribute about her that I really liked as well. Um, this beloved Egyptian goddess is represented by the head of a cow to symbolize the sacred animal's life giving milk and mothering. Hathor is a benevolent sky and sun goddess who helps with all aspects of child conception, birthing, and raising. Call upon Hathor to guide you in nurturing yourself and loved ones. So, yep, I was right, but I love this card. It's beautiful. And I kind of like, as you can see, which is, I just noticed this. I don't know, there's like a little glare, but you can see her breast and the waterfalls. That's like nurturing, I believe, like that's the milk, and it's just pouring down the mountain and into the stream. So I think that is beautiful. Dope. Let me see real quick. I need to shout out this artist because that was really beautiful, and I don't. And that's another thing. In the index, she has all the artwork, who the name of the artist and which decks that they created. So that was by Sharon George. Okay, Sharon. Okay, Sharon. All right. So that is that deck. I will definitely say that it is a great deck to work with. I, you know, I have done a reading for myself. I've been working with it. I've done it for my mother-in-law, and I've done one for my husband, and they both enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The women really, the goddesses come out and really get really specific with their messages, so that's good. The next deck I want to show you pairs really, really well with Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. And it is the Crystal Grid Oracle by Nicolia McIntosh. And OMG, I was so excited about this deck because, again, one, I wanted to learn something or brush up on my skills. So I'm into energy healing work, but there's just so many crystals, and I'm always learning more and just finding my skills and knowing about their properties and how they can lift and heal. And let me tell you, a lot of these crystals that she chose in this deck I was unfamiliar with. So she's found some really rare. It's not, you see, like, we'll get into it. So there were definitely familiar. There are 38 cards in this deck, and oh, forgot to mention there are 44 cards in the Goddess Guidance Oracle. So there are 38. Let me make sure that's right. 36. Okay, 36, and it also comes with a guidebook. But again, like the crystals in here, like I was like looking all of that stuff up and just it was just giving me so much energy. It's this is very high vibrational. And this is published by Rockpool Publishing. All right, and I will say, hold on, I think I have this upside down. I like the design. The box is hardcover, so again, you can knock on it. You can definitely keep your cards in here, and it'll store safely. And there's some really good designs. She's got some designs on the edges, which I appreciate. And on the back, it says, "Awaken the healer within and tune into your intuition as you access the wisdom of crystal grids." Crystal grids is also very powerful when you're using geometrical shapes to combine different crystals' energy to like just super power up. And they're very intricate and very vinyasa, placed in a special place in a special way. So again, just really powerful stuff in this box. A tool to aid spiritual growth, the Crystal Grid Oracle will forever change the way you use and work with crystals and gemstones. It will open your consciousness to the medicine of sacred geometry and connect your spirit to the intimacy of nature's precious gifts. Discover the symbols to connect with the pure crystal source of abundance, ancient knowledge, passion, and deep healing. By unveiling genuine energies, you can harness and create real magic within your life. Oh my goodness. Let's get into it. Let's just get right into it. So, again, just like the Goddess Guidance, it is a very nice, thick, thickish guidebook. And again, in the table of contents, she lists all the crystals along with the matched word that goes with it, and a little introduction from her. And then what I liked about this guidebook, in the introduction, she talks about the different clairs, and I appreciated that. I felt that that spoke to me because I just love that we just always talk about clairvoyance, but there's all these seven other major clairs that people are walking around with and may not even know, may not even realize that they have this gift. So I really appreciate her listing it and giving a little bit about it. So she talks about clairvoyance, she talks about clairaudience, which is clear hearing, clairsentience, which is clear feeling, which I am, claircognizant, which my mother is, which is clear knowing, uh, clear salience. Am I pronouncing that right? Let me know. Which is a deep sense of smell. You can, smell something that may not be there, but it was a past or event that may have happened, and you can still smell it. Clairgustience, where you can taste it. You have a very clear tasting. So yeah, I thought that was dope. Just educating people. That's pretty good. And then she talks about how to use the cards. I do like she does have a spread in the guidebook as well. So she has the past, present, and future spread that you can do with either one or two decks. So really good information in here. And then I also like that in her guidebook with each info fact page, it's in color. You rarely see that. It's in color, which I think is great. So I can really channel the information if, I'm just going through my guidebook and just getting inspired. I can really connect with the cards and the information at the same time without having to go back to the deck. I usually have my deck with me, but just in case, I didn't, it's good to have that option. And so let's get into, well, before I'll tell you like the first card. So this is Emotion, and she pairs that with Black Moonstone. And then in the Crystal Grid, she'll list the other stones and quartz that are in the grid. So with this Emotions, it's a grid. The main center is Black Moonstone, but she also has in the grid quartz laser,